I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver, I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when I breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Till the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke. Then my whole team, we a pot of gold. I'm a dog, I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke dog, you don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke dog, you don't want. Yeah, I've been so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like blah. Yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game. That maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They've got to steal it and try and gain an advantage. And they tried. They just didn't get it done.
And the Minnesota Vikings.
Here we go. Check 4. Check down.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
He finds his man Johnson.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. On 4th down, Trammell. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. And that could be a major momentum swing here early.
Because the defense stopped them. How great is that? They go for it on the first drive of the game. They're the ones trying to establish something, trying to assert a little dominance. And guess what? You turn it back on them and give the ball to your own offense. I agree with you. It can change momentum in a big way.
And an alley to run. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. Alvin Kamara. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off play action. Trammell. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Let's go.
Go team, Spill.
Wide. Get wide. Chance.
Hard. Nice.
Off the play fake. Trammell. That'll be complete to Cook. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
Check three, check three, check three. Rush in, rush in, rush in. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Ready, ready.
First down, here's the run with Cook. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Well, only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Tackles, tackles. Alert 3.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Trammell, and this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph. His first touchdown on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And they got the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
11, 11. Check, 59. Let's go. Mike's
Throwing on second and long. Stafford, Green brings it in. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
ready. 280. Night, sweetheart. Alert. Hey, box drop.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. This into the hands of Marvin Hall, complete. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
One set.
First down, Detroit.
Hey, easy. Alert. 22, Mark 22. Hey, echo. Lights went on.
On first down, it's Stafford. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Again, it's Stafford. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. These two teams all tied after one.
3rd and 14.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Back. Watch the safety green. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check 99. Check middle. Hey. Hey, 70. Alert.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I got one. He's coming. We got double up. Check 31.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Strip that ball. Watch the shit. Hit it.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch the pass. Whip. 80 weapon. Look, squeeze. Hey, Haywood. There go.
To throw on 2nd down. Trammell. And that is incomplete here.
The pass on 2nd down. Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 2.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Go. Undercross.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And an alley to run. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. And they have the 1st down with that gain of 4 yards. A couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Operating from the gun. Trammell. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On second down, Cook. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Pilot, 64, weak. Ready?
Off play action. Trammell. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And his pass incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And Diggs has it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. The Vikings on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Trammell. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You got nothing with it. 40 got. 40 got. Hey, over. Check, check. Block 54.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Finding Green complete. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Ready. Kill it, 20. 54. Hey, pick your game up. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there.
Throwing again is Stafford. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
53. Ready.
Stafford looks to throw again. He'll let this go deep for Sutton, and unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They run. It's Kamara. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Go. Real right, 22. 54, Hey, wahoo.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Yeah, he'll find Hall. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Hey, 54. You don't want this. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Set. 280. Check Mike. 54. Hey. 59.
Throwing again. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And now it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again. Stafford. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Check. 53's mine. Check. 53.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. It's a gain of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
We saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
15 line. 15 line.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Rock it. Give me that. Go.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone.
Roll out.
He'll get it up the middle. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll run for it with Cook. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up, a live ball, and nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 50. He's at the 40.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
At the Vikings 39-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Stafford. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? Operating from the gun, Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Mike, 44. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right here. Spoke balls to Mike. Mike spoke balls. Go. What we got? What we got? 5.
On 1st and 10, Trammell. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Looking to throw. Trammell. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for Minnesota. 48 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Again, it's Cook. The nice footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Stafford now to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hawkinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there and a first down. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
At the 44-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 44-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Vikings slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. 51's the mic. 51's the mic.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Bravo. Blue draw Corker. 5.
On 3rd down, Trammell. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ja'Kai Polite able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's complete. It's Green here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. He's back to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. Stafford now to throw. And able to find Green. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Set, 260, 54. Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. Foot out, check. Hey, I-7.
From the 50, it's Stafford. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
21.
Now Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Back to throw. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. The Lions now are going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
1st down, Detroit.
Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive.
Come on, QB, come on. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. I'm here all day.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Intended for Portland Sutton. Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and
10. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Watch the right.
Stafford. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Zebra. Watch twins. Watch twins. 80 weapons. Jump. Hey. Zebra. Let's go.
Now it's Stafford. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Here we go with Kamara. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts. Wasn't a shutout.